Hello, welcome to my tutorial series on AWS and running a Windows domain in the cloud, so to speak. We're going to look at a couple of different things in this series. One, how to create and manage the domain in the cloud, as well as having a synchronized, trusted domain on local premise, which gives you a little bit more redundancy and availability. And so the first thing we're going to do is log into the AWS console, and we're going to go to the directory services section, and we're going to create a new Active Directory. Okay, and so we go to directory service, set up directory, and we're going to do a simple AD. Oh no, we're not. Sorry. Microsoft AD, standard edition. We're going to use my portcity.tech. We'll give it a NetBIOS name of PCT. All right, and we're going to use a password. All right, and we're going to go next. All right, and this is a perfectly acceptable VPC, and we're not going to set up any subnets. We're going to let AWS correct, or let AWS pick it themselves. And we need to make sure that I think we're on the free trial. There we go. And it's going to take some time to go ahead and create that, and so we'll come back in a few minutes and we'll start creating our domain controllers to be able to add to this directory service. And as you may have seen in the details, we're allowed 2 free domain controllers as part of the standard directory services plan. So we'll be right back. All right, and we're back. So what we want to do now is, now that the directory has been set up, we're going to go ahead over to the launch instance, and we're going to go to the community AMIs, and we're going to look for 2019 server. All right. Windows. Windows full base. So we'll select that one. We're fine with the tier 2 micro, free tier eligible. So we've got 1 virtual CPU and 1 gig of RAM. Our instance details. We're going to go ahead and accept the default VPC. This is a single instance. We don't need spot instances. We're going to use subnetting, and that's going to be enabled. No preference on the subnet. We'll actually go ahead and change that once we join it to the domain. Capacity reservation is open. This has our domain already there. Shutdown behavior stop, not terminate, and the difference between them is that if you shut down and it's set to terminate, it will delete the VM. Okay, so we're going to protect against accidental termination. We don't need any of these additional monitoring. You can add them if you want, add an additional charge. We can run a shared instance just fine in this tenancy, and we don't need enhanced graphics acceleration. And we also don't need T3 and T2 unlimited. The advanced details section is for where you would add some scripts if you want to run some scripts. Next, add storage. Oops, sorry, forgot the AM role. Okay. Next, add storage. All right. Add some more tags, and in this, all right, and then our server, our security group, RDP, and right now I'm going to leave this open. Later I'm going to go back and secure this. The only way to do this really easily for the video is to actually leave this open, but once the video is uploaded, this will be secured and locked down. So we'll go ahead and launch, and yes, we know this is for the free usage tour, and it's open to the world. All right, so we'll go ahead and launch, and we're going to choose an existing pair, the PC Tech, and I acknowledge that I have access to this key. All right, so we're going to view our instances, and here is the information for our first domain controller. This is the public IP, this is the internal IP, the private IP, 172.31.58.135. Now if we wanted an elastic IP, we can go in here and create an elastic IP and bind it to this VPC. I'm not going to do that right now because there's really no need to. We'll have access to it through the public DNS name. So for this instance, there's no real reason to do that. Okay. Looks like we're running. All right. So we'll go ahead and select the PCT. We'll download our remote desktop. Our RDP session. All right. And you got to bring up the okay, so I am going to have to blur this. Oh, we have to wait. Okay. So we have to wait 4 minutes for the password to be available. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and break the video here, and I'll come back, and I'll have gone ahead and copied the password. That way I won't have to change it later, and we'll proceed on to the next step. So thanks for watching. Okay, and we're back up, and we've copied in our password, and of course we have a problem. All right, let's try this again. Well then, let's try just the public IP. There we go. Apparently didn't like something before. All right, and there we are. We're sitting on our desktop of our 2019 server, and bring up the server manager here. Okay, and you can see we're in the portcity.tech domain, which is exactly where we needed to be. And at this point, now we can go ahead and add okay, we'll have to wait it. But basically we can promote this to a domain controller once it has completed its inventory and startup. And so we'll go ahead and we'll create the next section. We'll create another member server. We'll add it to the domain, and then we'll use those two domain controllers. One is primary, one is backup, which is a standard set for a Windows domain. And then we'll begin to start worrying about how we can connect to our local on-premise administrator or our Active Directory. And then we can start to add machines to the local domain. And then we can add the trust relationship between the on-premise domain and the AWS domain. So thanks for watching. Hope you liked the video. Go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. Thanks again for watching.